Hey y'all. I have been trying to shake the need to do this video all day. But as I gave you an invitation, a call to action on TikTok yesterday, I invited you to something that's felt pretty private to me until now. And I'm trying to bring my worlds together. I am trying to bring my worlds together, y'all. And it's a bit unnerving, I'm going to be honest. Like all of us, I am dimensional was the first word that came to mind. Multi-layered, a simple but complex being. And I just want to share my heart with you and see if I can give you just a little bit of background. So you may have just met me on TikTok recently, within the last hours, days, months. You may have known me my whole life. But I guess the only person around that would be true would be my mother and my oldest brother, who's older than me. Anyway, I don't want to get too far off track. I am a social worker by training. Some of you know that. MSW, a licensed clinical social worker in private practice, and I partner with my clients in healing trauma and finding new ways to cope, and finding ways to change the channel in our brains to raise our vibration. I don't know, fill in those blanks. What does a social worker do? What does a counselor do? I'm also a singer and a songwriter, so if you're on TikTok, you may have noticed some recent postings from the Arkansas Country Music Awards. We got to go, I think it's our 8th year. Am I here in 7th? Because we've had 7 nominations, but we had several in 1 year. We've been nominated for Album of the Year, Americana Artist several times, Vocal Group. And last year we won for our songwriter showcase, showcasing Arkansas artists. Y'all, we have not had to leave the state of Arkansas to find and showcase the most amazing talent. Okay, so that's one side of me. You know, my partner, Justin Patterson, the other nickel's worth of 10 Penny Gypsy. And if you're interested in my music, you can go to 10pennygypsy.com and check it out. You can go to our 10 Penny Gypsy Facebook page. You can go to 10 Penny Gypsy on Instagram. And as an individual, as well as a social worker, I felt led to, I went to an Earth Day in Hot Springs a number of years ago and met an amazing couple, Teresina and Martin Bakens. And I just felt this resonance with them. Now, I have a conservative background. I grew up in the Nazarene Church, and Jesus Christ is still very, very real to me. I don't want anybody to doubt that. If my family ever watches this and they fear for my soul and my salvation, I want you to know with all of my heart that it is well with my soul. Please know that it is well with my soul. Now, when you're watching my videos, I have a previous YouTube channel, Laura Lynn on Mindfulness, Meditation, and Mantras. It is interesting as I'm wanting so much to share my heart, and I'm wanting to use my voice and stop hiding certain things that feel evident to me at this point in my own spiritual journey. I wanted to say evolution, but I think that's a tricky word. I think that the divine lives within all of us, each and every one of us. The Mayans have a saying, I am you and you are me, in Lakesh Alakin. There's many other spiritual traditions that have a way of saying that. Namaste. So where was I going with that? I'm going to pause and take a breath like I do when I'm trying to collect myself. And I'm going to invite you to do the same. When I started my previous YouTube channel, Laura Lynn on mindfulness, meditation, and mantras. I did that just with my first and middle name, because if you look up Laura Lynn Danley, you'll find all about my music, and that's great. I want to share that with you. But I started the channel in 2019 because I wanted a way for the clients that I work with to be able to connect with me and with the tools that I teach in between our sessions. So they might be working on mindfulness and learning how to show up for themselves. At the time, I used the language of neutrality and compassion. And more recently, on my new channel, you'll find me quoting Amoda Maa a lot lately. That's a new teacher for me. And I love that she's saying, she's just giving me new language. I don't have to throw compassion or kindness at things that show up in me, things that I might have previously labeled as negative, wrong, bad. I'll talk a lot about shadow work. I have actually an interesting video on my other channel where I invite you to take, I'm taking a walk with my shadow, me and my shadow. So check that out and see what I mean by shadow work. And by that, I don't mean that any part of us is bad, wrong, evil. I just mean that there are parts of us that live outside, beyond our conscious awareness, in the shadows of our unconscious. And we cannot take responsibility for those. We cannot change that if we're not yet conscious of it. So as a mental health therapist, I help my clients as I talk about, they come in and there's this iceberg, and what they can see above the water is their consciousness, and it's my job to lower the water so they're more and more and more conscious of all that is within them, so they can take control of their life, so that they can make conscious choices about creating the life that they would love living. And yeah, that sounds like life mastery coach language. I worked with Felicia Searcy for years, who helped me get clear on what I wanted to create with my music. And I am so grateful to her. She's another great teacher to look up. So where am I going with this? So my first channel, Laura Lynn, on mindfulness, meditation, and mantras. And for some reason, over the years when I was traveling, again, Teresina and Martin in Hot Springs, Arkansas, Earth Day, they introduced me to a tarot deck. Now, growing up in the Christian church, that was taboo. 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 You just didn't. You didn't work with the tarot. You didn't. I don't think my church thought that yoga was wrong, but anything that didn't happen in the church. In fact, we did Zumba. What did we call it? It was a Nazarene, Nazarcise, jazzercise. That was the trend back then. And Teresina is an artist. She painted every beautiful image throughout this deck. They named it the fifth tarot because they brought back the element of spirit, ether. So there's already, if you know the four elements, what? Earth, fire, water, air. And if you hang in there with me, if you look at my old channel and definitely upcoming on this new channel, I will teach you the mantras for how to connect with those elements. Well, they brought back the fifth element of spirit. And so anyway, Teresina and her husband Martin, so he felt like the interpretations of these cards that came to her were just powerful and profound, and gave us some new tools to work with. And you know what, in my 52nd year, which the Mayans believe is your spiritual birthday, when you, a time of spiritual ripening and maturation, I drew one card every day. And I will say, when I talk about anything I teach, play. There's nothing more important in our lives than finding laughter, cultivating joy, playing, finding resonance in something. You'll hear me talk about raising our vibration. Now, that wasn't something that we talked about much in the church, but I sure felt it when I sang in the worship team. I sure felt it when I prayed with others, where two or more are gathered. That's still true, y'all. That is no less true today than it ever was for me. So, Martin and Teresina also used to lead trips to the Maya lands, to the Yucatan in Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, Copan. I've been to some amazing magical places with them. And they introduced me to my beloved teacher, Don Miguel Angel Vergara Calleros. I think that's his full name. And I see him out there a lot as Don Miguel Angel. Not Don Miguel Ruiz is the one who wrote the Four Agreements. So this is my beloved teacher. Now, he happens to be a Mayan elder. And so one of the reasons I probably shied away a little bit or called it a private showing or sharing in the past was, y'all, the Mayans have a bad rap. Some people, I think there was a movie out a few years back with Mel Gibson, one of my dear friends who I consider a soul sister. We think alike, y'all. But she had watched this movie with Mel Gibson in it, and he talked about the Mayans just being barbarians and raping and pillaging. And there's some talk about when we go to these sacred sites, these temples and houses of worship, and they were cultural, they were mathematicians, they were in touch with the cosmos, with the heavens, they had a vibratory language. And knowing me as a singer and songwriter, you can't be at all surprised that this ancient culture that knew how to connect with all of the cosmos, with the heavens, with the universe, with the earth, with humanity, they knew how to raise their vibration. Y'all, I'm going to stop apologizing, but I am going to give a little disclaimer. You do not have to believe a word I say. I am not your authority. Nothing and no one outside of you is your authority. Now, are there teachings? Is there a place of worship? Is there a book that you've read? Is there a tool that you've used in your life that has pointed you toward the divinity that lives within you, that lives within all of us? Absolutely. And I hope that anything you gain from my channels will do the same. It will point you to the truth within you. It'll help you remember what you know deep down in your bones, in your blood, in your DNA, in your very DNA. Y'all, you'll hear me say on every video, I love you. If there's nothing else you ever hear from pass from my lips, there's nothing else you ever receive from me, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And one of the mantras that Miguel, so I've studied with him for over 15 years, and it has changed my life. Of course it has. So this new channel, even though I'm calling it, so it's under my full name, this time, Laura Lynn Danley, and even though I'm calling it I Aming as LLD, and that's a concept that was inspired by my readings of Margaret Laird and her book, We Are the World We Walk Through. Y'all, she says, I'm not the walker or the walked. I am the walking of my dog. I'm not the petter or the pet. I am the petting of my cat. I am not the lover or the loved. Objects, both objects. I'm not the lover seeking to love better, which I am seeking to love better and feeling like I failed. There's ego in that. And when I use ego, I don't mean that's all bad, y'all. My dear friend Gene Reed, another great songwriter, said to me once when I was struggling with that, he said, where would we be without it? So I am not the lover or the loved desperately seeking to be loved more. I am. You are the loving. Do you hear me? I'm not the lover or the loved, and we're all of that. But y'all, we are the loving. I don't want you to get lost in anything I say or share on this channel. I don't want to put you off. I don't want to offend you. But I want to challenge you. I want to spark truth within you. I want to awaken, activate. And this channel may not be for you. go to my music, my mainstream, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous harmonies with one of my favorite songwriters, Mr. Justin Patterson, Tenpenny Gypsy. Y'all, he's been by my side for the last 14 years since we met at a songwriter retreat with Rena Wren, my dear friend. And, you know, he grew up in the Lutheran church, and as I've studied with Miguel and as I've read authors over the years, some that really influenced my mental health practice, Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, I'm not sure how he pronounces it, but The Power of Now, if you've heard that. Romancing the Shadow, such an important handbook for healing that I use with my clients. Michael Singer, Untethered Soul. Blue Truth. I'm going to find out. I want to meet David one of these days. I love to give it the Spanish pronunciation. So David Deida. Deida. So I give it the Spanish pronunciation. Y'all, I read something in there, and he said in his book, others will be rippled by the clench of our closure. Think about that. So open as. Whatever it is that you're resisting, go ahead and open as it. Let there be space within you. It may feel like pain, fear, anger, anxiety, joy, hope. Now, we don't tend to resist joy and hope. We resist the other things that we deem negative. We struggle with that. We contract, and then we begin to shrink and take shape around that. So open as that very thing. Let there be space within you, the space that already exists within you. Amoda Maa says we even seek after spaciousness. This is a little bit different than seeking. This is opening to the space that already exists within you. As she says, there is as much space within us as there is around us, outside of us. Let that land. There is as much space within us as there is outside of us. What? If that landed. Let's breathe again together. I've intentionally made my recent videos since I finally kicked off the new channel, I Aming as LLD. Let's get back to what that means here in just a moment, completely to me. Hey, y'all, I'm a scent person, so I love Palo Santo, and certainly Copal. Miguel uses it in ceremony. But I keep by my bedside, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Images, sounds, smells, or just enliven your soul. Y'all, we're having a human experience, and it is not all rainbows and unicorns. Somebody accused me of trying to make it that once, and I was offended because I thought, well, why can't it be? Why can't every day be a parade? Why can't it be magic? Because guess what? There is magic within us and all around us. And we can tap into it every single day. It was my dear friend Amy Holt. I bought a camper last year. I'm kind of sitting in here now. I did a little happy camper video. I said, hey, did you know I'm a happy camper? Yesterday on TikTok, I'm starting to branch out into TikTok. That's where I invited just a whole bunch of strangers and a few people I do know. And honestly, that's when I got nervous. I thought people who know me, might be concerned by some of the language I used, or at least confused. And again, I don't wish to confuse anyone. I don't wish to cause you distress. So if this isn't for you, that's okay. I started to say earlier, go find my music on tenpennygypsy.com. Come to one of our music gigs, and we will shower you with beautiful, beautiful music. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on all the streaming platforms. If you want some tools, some of my mental health tools, go to Laura Lynn on mindfulness, meditation, and mantras. And if you want to take this journey with me as I birth this new channel and continue to awaken to all that is within me and reflected in all that is around me, I welcome you to join me. Y'all, I was told by a therapist a few years back, 2020, when I was struggling. She said, Laura, you're struggling extra because you recharge, refuel by positive social engagement. And y'all, I felt like I was down to all but 2 people in my life, and they just happened to be pretty serious people. I'm the playful one amongst us. Where am I going with that? What is it I want to share with you next? Like I said, I guess if this isn't for you, that's great. I have so much else that I've birthed in life. I'm a poet. Not a lot of people know that. I haven't published much, if any, poetry yet. I did publish years and years ago. I can't even remember the name of the publication, but it was a short poem called Empty Chair. Empty chair. And you'll see the social worker in me, the therapist. I don't even think I was a mental health therapist. I think I was in therapy myself and discovering what I couldn't even yet recognize or name. But it's empty chair. I see you there on the backdrop of my mind. I hear you call to beckon there. Come sit for a while. Come share the weight of it all. Stop running. Come rest. Uncover the rest of what you're feeling. Empty chair, I see you there on the backdrop of my mind, waiting, wondering, how long this time? So there's just a little tidbit. I haven't shared much poetry. Kai Coggin. Y'all look up Kai Coggin. She is poetry goddess. She kept... I'm going to draw a blank right now again because there's so much I want to share. And I intentionally have made my new videos short. But since this is a personal conversation with you, I'm trying not to limit or edit or worry about the time too much. So Kai Coggin, I was introduced to her poetry at a reading she did when Tenpenny Gypsy, Justin, and I got to play in that beautiful church on Whittington in Hot Springs. I think it's called Whittington Place. It's like an artist's retreat now. So beautiful inside. And I fell in love with Kai and her spirit. She is definitely a sis star. And to be honest, Kai, I've lost track of how many books of poetry we published at this point. But I did just pick up your most recent, I believe, at the Black Ribbon in Hot Springs, a brand new bookstore that I'm already in love with. So when I come to town and visit my dear friend Karen Channing, look up her 365 days of doodling. If you want just therapeutic prompts as another support in your life. When I go to Hot Springs, we like to visit that, and so I picked up your most recent book. I got to get it to you, Kai, so you can autograph it. So poetry is another aspect of me in a way that I share my soul. And you know what's coming to me right now that I want to say more than anything, even in those moments where you don't understand the language that I'm using, where you're hearing me maybe use, and hopefully for some of you, you're finding me and it all resonates and makes sense because it's language you are already awake to within you. And I don't want that to be off-putting to anybody else. That can be, I had a friend once say, you make me feel like a spiritual amoeba. I would never want to make anyone feel that way. We just have different paths that we're on. We have different understanding. We're both experiencing God. I don't want to say in different ways, but maybe we have different language for our experience of God. So, and you'll hear me use all kinds of language on this channel. So, for example, I am, most of us within the Christian church knew who the great I am was and is. Capital I, capital A. And I think on my tagline on this new channel, Laura Lynn Danley, you can find me again what the full name is, obviously at. It's meant to be a small I, because I am not the big I am. I think you already know that. But small I, capital A, because the I am lives within me and within you. Even if we have someone in our lives who doesn't seem to be showing up in that way, who does not seem to be expressing or demonstrating that the I am lives within them. And I know in the Christian church we were told we had to invite Jesus into our hearts in order to make it into heaven, and that's a whole other conversation for another time. But y'all, the I am. Did you know that the I am lives within you? And if you are not consciously aware of that yet, stay with me. Hang in here. Continue to join me on this channel. And I hope that I can be a teacher, a mentor, a partner, someone who leads you to that knowledge, capital K, of what already exists within you. So I aming as LLD. That's my tag on the new channel. And my air conditioning. It's hot here. I'm in the camper. I'm on top of Buck Mountain, and but it's probably 95 degrees out there. So I hope you can still hear me just fine. Let's see if we can wrap this up. So I aming as LLD just means that for me, again, my language, remember that above all, I say play. When I start sharing more and more and more the mantras from my teacher, mantras, we're working on a handbook of healing with Mayan mantras, restoring balance and harmony to our lives. So these are sounds, words from the vibratory language of the Mayans that my dear teacher Miguel taught me, and I will be sharing with you as we continue on in this. We're co-writing a handbook of healing with Mayan mantras together, and I hope that comes out this year. I was well on my way last March when I got back, March 2023, and then a tornado hit Little Rock and kind of slowed my roll, and that just is what it is. So I aming as LLD, again, that idea that I aming, just like I am the loving, came more from the Margaret Laird, We Are the World We Walk Through. But my language, if it doesn't resonate with you, just skip over this video if you've hung in there this long. Find something that does, because I promise the I am is expressing as and in the form of, fill in the blank, put your name in there. The I am is expressing as and in the form of Laura Lynn Danley. That's the LLD. Some people in my music world know me as LLD. It's one of my nicknames. And now there's La La. You'll see me sign a lot of these videos as La. So I aming as LLD. That's where that concept came from. Y'all, I want to tell you again and remind you, if you're still watching, that I love you. I love you as you are. One of my favorite mantras, and even though, again, he's a Mayan elder and is teaching me the Mayan language, this vibratory language, the name of the trees and the water, the air, all the elements, we're going to play with those. Learn the sound for them and how to connect with them, that which is within us and all around us. That sound alone kind of sounds like ha, doesn't it? Ha, ha. You could use it. Did you know I'm also a certified laughter coach? You can schedule a laughter session with me, y'all. 5 minutes of laughter is equal to 30 minutes of aerobic activity. So, I started to say earlier, please let me know you're here with me on this journey. I recharge through positive social engagement, and I love collaborating. I love knowing that I have friends out there. I want new friends. I want to know that we're together on this journey. Whether or not you speak my language, whether or not this resonates with you, please, I don't care if you just say hi in the comments. Please put something in the comments. And like the videos and subscribe to the channel. And that's what will allow me to continue to do more and more and more with this. I've been dreaming about this for years, y'all. Years. I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I used to hide my age because I am, as I said, a singer-songwriter, performer. I'm on the stage a lot. I'm in photographs, music videos. And I haven't had any work done yet. And in the first few videos that you saw on this new channel, you can tell, I swear the iPhone sees the flaws that are under the skin. So you see every freckle, every age spot. every wrinkle. And the I am that is within me expressing as LLD, how could that be anything but beautiful? So I didn't want to edit it. I wanted to come to you real, unedited, unpolished, and I continue to. Now maybe today I put on a little lipstick and a little blush, and I finally got a new light, so you wouldn't be distracted by what I was distracted by. And where am I going with that? Like I said, I'm bursting. I've had so much that I wanted to share with you for so long that I hope you join me on this journey. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Please, right now, take a moment right after this. Subscribe, like the video, put something in the comment to let me know you're with me. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you want to connect individually. We can schedule a session. And just let me know if there's something here that resonated with you, again, or if there's something you have a question about. Let me know something that you want to hear more about. I'm going to be sharing at Unity of Little Rock, a spiritual community in Little Rock that just really feeds my soul. I need community, and they throw their doors and their arms wide open, and they embrace everybody, and I needed that sort of place to feel safe myself, to continue to unfold. We're infinity unfolding, y'all. Infinity unfolding. You are infinity unfolding. So next Sunday, June 16th, I'm going to be presenting at a Unity. I think the service is 10:30 to 11:30. And it's the 5 principles. And the third one is about creating through thought. So if you've read The Power of Now, but I'm thinking of The Secret, I mentioned Felicia Cersei earlier. She talks, I love this idea. We have a superpower. Our imagination is a superpower. And the longer we hold an image, the clearer we get on it. We're creating an imprint like a cookie cutter. And there's this invisible substance all around us. And here's the important keyword. It's neutral. Not many of us grew up with the idea of neutrality. But this substance that's all around us, see if you can get your head around that first. It's neutral. And it's the cookie dough of life. I love this. Thank you, Felicia Cersei. Cookie cutter, cookie dough. And because it's neutral, it gives us back the form, the imprint, that cookie cutter that we imprinted in the cookie dough. It gives us back the form of that without judging what we've chosen to create. But we're going to get more of it, whatever we hold in our mind. So that's part of what I'm talking about next week. Okay? And along with that, because I just did 30 days, I heard you can change, you can form a new habit, you can change, you can create a new neural pathway, you can change the channels in your brain. I talk a lot about that on my other channel, reminding you, Laura Lynn, on mindfulness, meditation, and mantras. Go there. There's lots of great tools. And I'm going to see if I can keep importing them. My dear friend Susan Irwin Prowse, I'm so proud of you and Cliff and all your nominations this year at the Arkansas Country Music Awards. You looked so beautiful and stunning, as always. You guys sounded great on stage. They've been wonderful mentors. She gave me permission to speak about her on this channel because she sees the divine as I do. And she helped me realize it was time to go ahead. She's even teaching me how to get people's attention on TikTok and call you to action each time. So, Susan Irwin Prowse, why did you come to mind? Go off on these little tangents, and that's okay. So anyway, next Sunday, I know I was talking about changing the channel. Oh, she's helping me. She taught me how to bring the videos from my old channel into the new one. So I think you kind of did it for me, Susan, and so I'm not sure I remember how, but I'll ask you again soon. Shadow work. So knowing that we can create a new habit, we can form a new neural pathway if we do something for at least 30 days. I'm going to be honest, I did The Magic by the same author, Rhonda Byrne, as The Secret, and it is magical. It's a gratitude journal, and what I need variety, which is what you'll find on my channel. So she showed us how to each day she gave us a different way to be grateful. If you're going through the drive-thru today, it's like, thank the people that are serving you. Thank the farmers. Thank the people who planted the food and brought it to us. You know, there's just so many different things to be grateful for, and she has a different theme each day, and that really resonated with me. And I'm sure it was a challenge to 30 days, and I think I got through 2 weeks of it, and I felt such improvement. I stopped there. I do that a lot. I'll feel the improvement, and it's not that I think I'm done. I don't know. But I finally achieved my 30 days and more with Louise Hay. She had one of my clients, my mental health clients, sent me a video of hers. It's like 51 minutes, and it's a meditation and affirmations. And y'all, if you tune into my old channel, and I'm sure on this new channel, the first few videos I did, I told you I had a trauma happen in my week that first week, but I didn't want any more excuses to put this off. So I went ahead and just, like I said, did it real raw, unedited. And I'm gonna take another breath. I'm excited. Mindfulness is something I teach on my other channel, and it allows us to just stop, breathe, tune in, listen, notice what we're experiencing. So let's do that for just a second. You can close your eyes if you want to tune out the world or to tune in, or you can find something in the room. In yoga, they call it your drishti. Find something to focus on in the room. Just notice what's going on in your body. I'm so excited. Mine is vibrating. I can feel the vibration of the air conditioner in my camper too. So, and I'm a little nervous about the noise. I hope you can still hear me clearly. I did not want to stop this. Don't yet know how to pause. Notice what you're hearing, what you're feeling in your body. Notice your breath. The inner judge is within all of us. See if you can practice not judging the judge. Just notice it when it comes up. So that's the other piece of what I'll be sharing next Sunday, along with the power of our thought to create. I was doing these affirmations because I have struggled with depression in my life. I'm kind of genetically wired for it. My mother has bipolar disorder, and I've really struggled. She suffered greatly throughout her life, and her children have suffered. And I was unfortunately disconnected. Just one of the choices she made in life kept us separated for a good 30 years. And I moved her here to Little Rock, Arkansas in 2020, and we're rebuilding our relationship. And I'm so grateful. Those of you, I have some dear friends who struggle with bipolar disorder, and y'all know that it takes some hard work